So NFL honors was interesting. I'll say that. Obviously, a lot of people are focusing on like the bad stuff, like showing Eric Allen at the Hall of Fame when it was Sterling Sharp. So that was not great and other random stuff. But honestly, it was kind of a fun, like, I don't know. It was a little bit of fun. Like, obviously, Snoop Dogg, Jelly Roll, that was all great. Shabuzi. Love seeing all those guys. So, I mean, it was a fun broadcast. Is broadcast? I don't know. But the awards are definitely interesting to me. So let's just get into that. I guess starting with Coach of the Year, I did predict that it would probably be Kevin O'Connell or Dan Quinn. I could see either of them, so I'm not exactly mad at this one. I get it. I mean, he took freaking Sam Darnold, of all players, and turned him into an MVP candidate, and they won 14 games. Of course, unfortunately, the worst thing possible could have happened to the Vikings, where they lost the last few games, and they didn't play well, so everybody thinks that they are much worse than they were. Again, I don't understand, but I think this is very well deserved. Could have been Dan Quinn or Kevin, but I like it. Defensive Rookie of the Year, of course, two of my birds were up there. Coop and Q were both up there. But actually, I did predict Jared Verse. I mean, he's just been completely dominant the whole season. I mean, he's fantastic. Obviously, also in the playoff game against us, I mean, he was incredible. I mean, he played up to, the level where you know what? You can trash talk us. I mean, you still lost, so he played very well. So I respect him a lot. I like Jared Verse, but I can't cheer for him as he is an Eagles hater. But this one I think is fine. Offensive Rookie of the Year, yeah, I think it makes sense. Again, I think this could have gone between two people, either Jane Daniels or Brock Bowers, but I think it's just the fact that Jane Daniels is a quarterback that made people, think that he was better. And Jane Daniels, don't get me wrong, was incredible. Not trying to bring him down or anything, but Brock Bowers is the best tight end in football, okay? He is the best tight end in the world in professional American football, and he's a rookie. So I just think that, like, Jane Daniels, obviously you can't be the best quarterback in your rookie year, but there are a lot of great tight ends that Brock Bowers was better than this year. With multiple quarterbacks, a terrible team, I just think that because Jane Daniels is a quarterback, people thought differently. I personally think it should be Brock Bowers. I did predict Jane Daniels, but I thought it should have been Brock Bowers. And, I mean, that's just the tough thing with quarterbacks compared to any other position. I think Jane Daniels 100% deserved it, but I just think that Brock Bowers, I don't know. It's a tough one. I can see it. I respect it. Jane Daniels, I like him. I'm going to have to start hating him very soon as an Eagles fan, obviously, but I respect him. It's fair enough, but Brock Bowers, I genuinely think should have probably won it. Defensive Player of the Year, this was a very tight one, I would say, but I think the only reason Patrick Surtain, oh my Jesus, the only reason I think Patrick Surtain really came away with this one was because there was not really like a incredible rusher that had 20 sacks or whatever the hell, which Patrick Surtain, he was incredible. I do think he is the best defensive player outside of maybe Zach Bond, but I think he 100% deserves this. I think Zach Bond was a very close second, but I totally agree with this one. I predicted it, but I will say, once again, if there was a rusher that had 20 sacks, I think they probably would have gotten it. I'm just saying. Trey Hendrickson was only, 2.5 away, but Trey Hendrickson isn't a big name, so I don't think he would have, gotten if he had 2.5 more sacks, but again, after all this talk, 100% agree with this one. I like it. I agree with it. And Patrick Surtain 100% deserves it. And now my boy Saquon Barkley, Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's the whole thing with if all of the MVP candidates are going to be quarterbacks, running backs, maybe a receiver, right? And it's going to be one of them is going to have to get MVP, the other one's going to have to get Offensive Player of the Year, and then they're just going to have to spread the rest out of, over other places. And Saquon Barkley, he could have gotten MVP, wouldn't have been mad. He could have gotten Offensive Player of the Year, which he did, and I think it makes total sense. So it's like, there's not really a specific, because Offensive Player of the Year and MVP are generally going to be the same person, but they're going to be voted different people because you don't want, the same person with two awards. So like they're pretty much the same award, basically. Like obviously MVP is more like which player was the most important to their specific team, and Offense Player was more overall who was the best player on offense. But all of the candidates are the exact same. So like really is there a difference? I don't know. But again, I agree with this one. Love my boy, Saquon Barkley. As I was saying, MVP, Josh Allen. I mean, could have been 4 other guys. And, well, maybe not Jared Goff, but 3 other guys, and I would have 100% agreed. 100% agree with this one. Josh Allen definitely deserves it. And, yeah, I don't know what else to say. He's fantastic. Could have been Lamar, could have been Joe, could have been Saquon. And, yeah, this one's totally fine by me. But now, here is the one that Comeback Player of the Year for Joe Burrow. And it should have been Sam Darnold. I think 100% should have been Sam Darnold. I just don't see a way around it. I don't, like... I think it just has to be the recency bias, because Joe Burrow's last few games were incredible. He almost made the playoffs. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold lost his last 2 games, and played terribly. But, 5 games difference in wins? Like, people. I know Joe Burrow... He was an insane year. I think statistically he was the best quarterback in the league. But in my eyes, Comeback Player of the Year is somebody who not only faced adversity but was not expected to come back from it. Obviously, we didn't expect Joe Burrow to be this good. Nobody expects a single player to be this good. But you expected him to come back and beat Joe Burrow again. Nobody expected Sam Darnold to come back and do that, So, like, I just simply don't agree with this one. I think they just had to spread out all the MVP candidates around. I guess Joe Burrow he had to go somewhere, and if he wasn't going to get Comeback Player of the Year, he was probably going to get MVP or maybe Offensive Player of the Year. So, it's just, yeah, Sam Darnold, he 1,000% should have earned this. I don't know if it's recency bias. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's trying to give awards to the top, 4 offensive players, which were all so even. I don't know, man. I don't know, but nothing you can do about it, because in 10 years they're going to look back on the awards and see these guys that won it and not know that, Sam Darnold had that incredible season and should have got it. So, nothing you can do about it. So, yeah. That was just my opinions on the 2025 NFL Honors. Actually, I will also like to say, fantastic Hall of Fame class. Absolutely love it. Bunch of great guys that should have been here a long time ago. At least some of them. Sharp definitely should have been here. But I don't know why it was so small, though. Like, only 4? I feel like that's really small. But I, again, totally agree with that one. I think that's maybe even the awards that I agree with the most. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you.